Welcome back with another class. We're gonna make this one quick, but this one might be a little shorter. This is the 15 cabinet members, okay? You remember we talked about the president, the vice president, and then y'all think secretary. Not even knowing, well, who is the secretary or what is the secretary, right? Um, the secretary is everybody within the 15 cabinets, but the head of justice, which is the attorney general. But this is something very, very important. Sorry for my wording. This is very, very important because a lot of things you guys may complain about: food, air, what else? Education, housing, security. That's Homeland Security. That's for the Texans. Energy, transportation. But yeah, let's get into it, man. We can go on forever. The 15 cabinet members. All the members of the cabinet take the title secretary. So when you hear Secretary of State, that's every single one of them. But the Attorney General, which is who? The head of justice, of the Justice Department, to be exact. So when you hear them say in any speech, any paperwork, any commercial, the Secretary of State, don't just think Treasury. Think your food, think your transportation, think Homeland Security, okay? Think education, think defense, think interior. You gotta think that's that is secretary. Now, I'm not going to get into what secretary is. You do your own definition work. You do some work. You do some work. All right? Let's begin. Number one, Department of Agriculture. That is the USDA. They execute policies on farming, food, and agriculture. Agriculture is like cows, livestock, sheep, sorts like that. Number two, the Department of Commerce, okay? This is pretty much business and industry. The government agency tasked with creating the conditions for economic growth and opportunity. So they're pretty much responsible for jobs, businesses, or helping you run or helping you open your business so you can run a business at least. Number three, the Department of Defense. That is DOD. Because some of the only reason I'm breaking down even the abbreviations because they were only use abbreviations. You not even knowing this is part of the executive motherfucking branch. You see how they do that? You see how they doing this? This is a part of the executive branch, the 15 cabinets. So everything I'm reading to you, this is a part of everything you think you thought you think you was voting for. Or thought you think you had a vote on. Why would we need a vote on certain things like this? Especially certain things on this list. But let's continue. Department of Defense, DOD, located in the Pentagon. It provides the military forces needed to deter war and to protect the security of the United States. Number four, the Department of Education is to promote learning and prep for careers, college, and citizenship. So we see how they're using this. Biden administration is using immigration, a part of the 15 cabinets, which they're going to use them to vote on, which they're going to play on the Department of Education. That's number four. That's the fourth cabinet, okay? Which is careers, college, and what? Citizenship. And what are most of these immigrants seeking? Citizenship, right? Let's continue. Number five, Department of Energy. That's DOE. Is to advance national economic and energy security. the state of the energy that I've seen or I've heard and what I've read and watched, I don't even want to get into it. Number 6, the Department of Health and Human Services. That's HHS. Okay? Some of these I'm not going to break down. Number 7, Department of Homeland Security. That's DHS. Protects the American people from the foreign and domestic threats. And you see what's going on in Texas. Pretty much not only just Texas, just across that whole little border. You got Louisiana and that stretch, California and that stretch. What they say, pieces of Nevada and that stretch, I believe. But Utah, I believe too. But whatever. The executive branch is responsible for the protection of the foreign and domestic threats, because it's technically a threat. They calling them illegal aliens. They don't have IDs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You should have seen what the police did to my black ass in 2020 when I refused to give my ID. Nigga, I was born in this country. And my ancestors from this country, indigenous American. You understand? But let's continue. Number 8, Department of Housing and Urban Development. Now, this doesn't matter what state, what city you in. Everybody done heard of what? HUD. Yeah, you don't even know. HUD has something to do with housing, which is what? That is something to do with the executive branch. So when you think you're having a problem, that's them. Look, and listen, remember, I'm not only a teacher to this, I'm also a student, because I was learning a lot of this stuff too when I'm reading and writing and reading. But let's continue. Number 9, the Department of the Interior, DOI. Now this one I find to be very, very interesting. So I elaborated for you. I stretched it out, just some of the important pieces on what is the Department of the Interior. It is to protect Americans' natural resources, offer recreation opportunities, conduct scientific researches, conserve and protect fish and wildlife, and honor the U.S. government responsibility to the American Indians, Alaskan Natives, and to the island communities. So that will be including stuff like Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Bahamas, Jamaica. And these are your own, I can't include Bahamas and Jamaica, of course, or Haiti. Although those motherfuckers had their hand on it. Just wait till the next video. Y'all gonna see I did this video in reverse. Y'all wanna know how all this shit started. I'll give you some pieces. But let's finish this up first. Number 10 is the Department of Justice. That's DOJ. Number 11 is the Department of Labor. Labor. Provide jobs, good wages, good working jobs for the American people. Good wages. Number 12 is the Department of State. Number 13 is Department of Transportation. That's DOT. D-O-T. Number 14 is the Department of Treasury. Now, y'all know what the Treasury do, or the Treasurer. They are responsible for the money, or anything that deals with the money, but they only have a budget themselves, like a 1.3 billion budget or something like that, 1.7 billion budget. And that budget isn't that big unless they choose to take that money for themselves. They employ about 100,000 employees. No, I'm wrong. They have $13 billion budget. $13 billion budget. And America is in $1 trillion, what was it, 33, 34, 60, 70, 121. But I know it's trillions of dollars in debt. And there's still motherfucking streets and roads that ain't even fixed. You know what I'm saying? And I talk about across America. And then number 15 is Department of Veterans Affairs, which I find to be very important because this is responsible for the benefits programs for our veterans, their pensions, their educations, their medical, home loans, their disabilities, their life insurance, etc. And you see how they do our veterans. Veterans, I salute you. And I know that America sold you a dream. And sometimes I know it looks like the way it looks like. I've known people that went to war. My pa went to the war. I thank you for your service, because they only not fed you a lie, but they told us all lies. Peace, love, and protection with this message. I am SR16.